What's up everybody, Emceemur here, and welcome back to another fantabulous review video. Today we're going to take a good long look at the PowerA enhanced wireless controller for the Nintendo Switch. Specifically the Diablo 3 edition, because that's out on the Switch today as well. Seemed like a match made in heaven, or hell, depending on how you look at it. Either way, I am interested in this. If you watch the show, you know we've done a lot of work with PowerA controllers lately, looking at the new enhanced models on the Xbox One, and they've been working so much better than the previous models. I'm happy with the product, and I'm anxious to see what they've done here. Is this a good alternative to the regular Nintendo Pro controller? I don't know. It's not as expensive, and it's really good looking. We got to get this thing out of the box. We got to test for some heft. We got to plug it in and we got to use it. We got to check for responsiveness. We really want to see what this thing can do. I mean, it's got motion, it's got advanced gaming buttons on the back. We're talking about a lot of features here. This isn't just your average, third-party controller. I want to see what we've got here, don't you? Let's get this bad boy out of the box and get a closer look. All right, let's get this bad boy out of here. Got a few seals to cut. Ooh. Alright. There she is. And I'll tell you what's really neat. They were nice enough to include batteries. So we have a instruction leaflet, and we have this very nice looking controller. And of course, you know me, I'm gonna get hands on. I'm gonna feel of it. It's not heavy, and I'm not saying you want it to be, but you're feeling for some substance there. I mean, the thumbsticks feel good. Buttons feel good, responsive D-pad. We got bumpers up top. We got triggers down below. And then you've got your mappable buttons here. This is most likely the one to set them with when you assign functions to those. System update required. Yeah, I don't doubt that. Hopefully we've done that already. But yeah, it's a great looking controller. And what I want to know is, how does this thing perform compared to the Pro controller? We're talking about a $50 controller here, but versus an $80 one. And it looks really cool. And it's a game I like. A lot of good things I can say about this. Let's check it out now. So we're getting started here. The sticks feel pretty balanced. Nothing's too touchy. The triggers are responsive. Buttons feel good. Again, there's not a lot of heft here. And I'm not looking for there to be, because it's important to remember these do not have the rumble in them that the normal Pro controller would. And you can't really expect it to, because when you're talking about rumble on this particular console, boy, it's a function really unique to Nintendo. And getting into the menus, the bumpers, they feel right. So yeah, all in all, I don't see any problems here. It was easy to sync. So for Diablo, this is great. For other games, though, it's hard to tell. Again, that rumble is so signature to Nintendo. It's not just any rumble. If you've played games with the Pro controller and with the Joy-Cons and all that, it's got a very specific characteristic feel to it. And it actually serves a purpose in some games. And you can only expect to see more of that as we go, especially as more first-party stuff comes out. So it's hard to tell how much value there is in a $50 controller that's not going to necessarily work for every game. Because if you just wanted a knockaround controller, there's a lot cheaper options out there. But it is important to realize that, of course, you are getting something that is wireless, and it's themed, and it looks good, and it's doing the job. So they're not going to be able to sell that for a $30 price point. So they're probably right where they need to be on it. Busting into some combat here. Everything feels like it should. So yeah, not too bad. So there you have it. The Diablo 3 enhanced wireless controller for the Nintendo Switch from PowerA. You know, it looks good. It feels right. It does its job. It feels like it's going to be durable. It's not unlike the ones that we have tested out on the Xbox One. I think this is going to last. It feels right. The controls were responsive. You just have to keep in mind that you don't have the rumble. That's going to be a deal breaker for some. There are games on the Nintendo Switch that you have to have the rumble for. I think we're going to see more of that the further down the line we go, especially with first-party titles coming out. You know Nintendo, they're a creative bunch. They implement stuff like that into the games. There may be games down the line that you're not going to be able to use this on. Mario Odyssey is already a game that has the rumble function put in as part of the game where you need it to locate things. It's got to be there. Still, this may be a neat controller to own. You do have the programmable buttons on the bottom. I did not demo those in the gameplay because for the life of me, I don't know why you would use that in Diablo. For me, this is a first-person shooter thing. But as a consumer, you have to weigh that as an option. That weighs on my mind because the Nintendo Switch is not a console that I play first-person shooters on. Again, that's just me. Maybe you do play on there. Maybe this is the controller for you. A lot of things you got to think about before buying this, because again, this is a $50 controller. If it's going to do what you need it to do, it's a fair price, but only you can answer that. The Nintendo Switch is such a versatile system. So it's really something you got to think about before you put money into this versus just ponying up the rest of the money and getting the Pro controller. And that said, you got to think about that rumble. It's nuts. This is not just your normal rumble that this system has. I mean, I was playing the arcade pack the other day, and I can feel Pac-Man chomping. I can feel his jaws and the Joy-Con. Only Nintendo could come up with this. It's amazing. Nothing short of amazing. So where I'm going with that is, I don't expect PowerA to put something like that in their controllers. I don't think anybody other than Nintendo could have come up with something that wild. So you got to think about that. But all in all, I'm happy with this. It's good looking. If you watch the show, you know I collect controllers a little bit here and there. So this is going to be a neat one to have. And I've been itching to get back into some Diablo again anyway. So this is a fun way to do it. I hope this tells you what you need to know about this controller, about the line in general. Will this work for you? What do you think about what you saw here? What do you think about this controller? Let me know in the comment section what you think about what you saw here, because you know that I love getting a conversation going with you right here on the Emceemur Show, something that I like to do a lot of. I hope that you liked this video. I hope that you're going to drop a like on this video, and if you have not already done so, I hope that you're going to subscribe to the Emceemur Show. Be a part of Mur Nation. We're rising up. Be a part of all the fun things we have going on right here on the show, and make sure that you hit that notification bell so you are always the first to know when new content goes live. Thank you so much for joining me for this controller review. Emceemur signing off for now, and I will see each and every one of you again next time.